Yo guys, what's up? And today I was thinking about doing another insight video where you can see a little bit what is happening when JJ is building a deck. Nah, it's more like you're just gonna say build a deck which is usually already there, like consume monster this time. I'm just saying, I'm telling you guys why I put a certain card in and why I think it makes sense in the meta and maybe how to look at statistics. So what you can expect from this video is less of a gameplay video, but more of a insight video, and also maybe can just for card games in general, just take some information out of this video to improve your deck building and maybe have a little bit more, give a little bit more thought into your own decks. So maybe get some inspiration as well. So let's get this started, right? So here we go, Gwent client. New deck, although it's not really new. Dagon, right? Dagon consume Kappa. No. We just take the Araka's Queen, of course, and since I know the cards already very well, I will show you, I like starting, especially with a deck like Consumers, to just put in the core. It's also basically what you do, if you have, let's say, a hard math term to finish, you do the basic stuff first, right? Like the stuff you learned. I like just putting in the 3 Slizzards in a consume deck where just OP, the 3 Neckers where the key mechanic, the Ran Warriors the same, Forktail the same. I would also not like to tinker around there because this is obviously what makes a consume deck strong. And if we want to have that confirmed, it's just you can just check the win rate of the Bros cards and what are the good Bros cards, and surprise, it's exactly these 5 cards. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. The more interesting it gets, especially if you're that deep into an update like Midwinter is, the more interesting it gets in the silver slot specifically. Because that is not that easy. Of course, we could easily say again, just look at the stats a little bit, see what delivers. And I can easily also just tell you why these cards deliver. So here we have Merlor. I will just call this card Shadow out of protest, because that was his name. And this new name, I can't just get along with it. This guy pulls you the Necker out, like a Deathwish minion. Why does it perform? Of course, because it pulls you a key mechanic card out of the deck, which are the Neckers in this way. Why does the double cross perform? Easily said. You get a Necker Warrior, which belongs to a key mechanic, so it just seems that silver cards who somehow fish you key mechanic cards out are performing quite well. Same goes with the marching orders. Pulls you a Slizzard pulling you a Ran Warrior, Necker, Forktail, consume cards. Yeah, pretty simple. It's this is like a consume card, like a Bros card +2, because also buffs. Same with the double cross and Melon just pulling you a Necker. Also being one of the worst performers. Always keep in mind that these little percentages in these, they mean actually a lot, especially if you play a high level. And the lower level, it's not that important, because you will get your decent win rate in, you know. But you want to have these high level performers for sure in there. And then you have and then now you have the next 3 cards, when you can just take a look. But the summoning circle performs is kind of obvious, because very often you get just the card you wish for, you get it off. You can just copy, for example, a Necker Warrior if the opponent doesn't mistake, or just a Necker. Both are being fine. And yeah, I would like to have it personally also in there. I think it's good. Now we have like 2 silver slots left. I mean, what we saw is like the monster nest being performing quite okay, but 1% below the other cards, almost 1%, like 0.7 below the shadow. Why might that be? I think the reason why this card dropped, an example, because like people don't play the golden card Tribute anymore, and Tribute pulls that one out. It makes it, of course, a higher win rate for the card itself, right? So it never was actually that strong standalone in the monster deck. What I find kind of interesting this week, though, is like the decoy. The operator, not so much, because again it supports the Necker mechanic, or you can copy a Slizzard. And the Osril just being very strong recently with this amount of spice in graveyards around. So the decoy is something which gives me like, it's something special this week, I would say. What I could definitely see is like putting Osril or operator in. I like the Osril specifically because it's very good against Skellige. I can definitely see this bad boy fitting in. We got 2 more silver slots available, so I would just like to put the Osril in because, yeah, he can't be too bad. Let's take it like this. But always keep in mind, these cards are a little bit weaker. Like in Consume, it's really about mechanic. You want to get your Necker online, you want to get the Necker Warrior on it, and you want to start consuming. And he is like, you play it somewhere in between, which is also not always your interest, right? So what we can talk about maybe this week in Consume Monsters, like the decoy and the operator. My decoy, you have to always keep in mind if you're going over the Gwent up statistics. This is like low sample size, but what's always good, what you can do here is like, why is this card performing so much? Yeah, it's like, first of all, decoying Slizzards is quite good. You can also decoy like the Merlorn, whatever, and decoying a Necker Warrior is also specifically like in a mirror very strong. The question you gotta ask yourself there is like, always, is this card only strong because nobody expects it? Or is it strong because it actually just is standalone strong, yeah? A good example is Igni here. For like Igni, some weeks it comes in, bam, overperforming because nobody expects it. And with decoy, can it be the same? I mean, you're just gonna take a look at a card itself. Like, what can you actually decoy, huh? Like, what you can decoy is the Slizzards, where you usually have one, and the Merlorn at the moment. So you have 4 decoy targets, which is alright, but also not outstanding. And the Necker Warriors. And talking about decoying a Necker Warrior, basically what you say with decoying a Necker Warrior, I can just go to the card. So you boost it by 3. So it's a 3-stat silver Necker Warrior if you decoy your Necker Warrior. So that's quite expensive compared to the normal Necker Warrior. But let's say, for example, Necker Warrior gets damaged somehow, where it's like really good, because when you just have another Necker Warrior. And I think where it's also really good is like specifically the Slizzard. So that would be a card, I think, like you would just have to try it on your own. And I think I would also like to try it. Just like, it's always good in card games just to try the new stuff and when you get your own impression on it, because it's hard to always go and get the exact numbers of everything, you know what I mean? And the last card we would like to fit in there, we're already full. It's like, there's 1 flex slot, kind of. And also proceeding to the gold slot. 1 card that catched my eye like hugely also since the last 2 weeks in the meta report was Dandelion. And I would also like to talk about this boy here. Why is Dandelion that good? Especially in Consume Nation. Reason number 1, he gives you 5 stats. That means you can play 5 stats plus Necker. Very often saving you maybe a card and giving you tempo. Reason number 2, he draws you a card, and the main reason why Consume Monster has trouble sometimes, like because they don't get enough Necros, because sometimes they get Corralled or Mandrake, stuff like that, Dandelion helps you against that. Just in a short conclusion, in Consume Monsters, Browse cards are way more powerful than in other decks. That's why the card draw is really good for the deck. Everything that supports the mechanic is nuts. So that's the reason why I will definitely run this guy. What else do we have? Like, I like just looking at the cards a little bit. Like, I don't like cards which are played like 10% or lower. I mean, sometimes I put them in just, but if I personally think they're good. And then you can just look at the top performers. I mean, but the Phoenix goes in there is kind of, it's like a Slizzard +5. That's like pretty solid. Also supporting the mechanic again, right? It's exactly what we want. And the other two cards are like the Brewers, being quite solid, of course, as your finisher. And since we only have minions in there, a Royal Decree could also be good. Or Shields. One of these two. I personally tend to kind of take the Royal Decree. It's also in my liking to get the Brewers out, or like, let's say, yeah. I mean, the Shields is really nice with the Dandelion Poet, because you can go like Shields into Poet and get the silver card immediately. That's not too bad. So we're speaking of a very like better performance of the Dandelion here because of Shields. That's why this time specifically I would like to include Shields. And voila, there we go. We got a full Consume Monster deck. Yeah, I think that sums it up for this video. I got asked a little quite often here, what would I build as a Consume Monster archetype, and maybe to go a bit more in the deck building itself. Next time we're gonna play this deck a little bit. I'm gonna show you why I choose which cards, and we can also just play it out. So wanna see this deck in action, check out the next video. I'm gonna upload it the next days, and hope you enjoyed this insight time with JJ, and have a good day, guys. Thank you so much for watching.